Good morning, Ramon. Good morning, Team Steam. I'm still wondering why Ramon allowed me to bet on the Padres yesterday. Just kidding, Ramon. I know you didn't want the Padres, but I thought they had a chance with you, Darvish. Instead, the Giants are on this huge winning streak, it seems. So we're going to go ahead and get back to some Major League Baseball here today. WNBA, and of course, maybe a little bit of college baseball, right? We had one advance, one sitting there waiting for us, another one today. So it should be a pretty good matchup once again. So what's new, Ramon? How are you?
Yeah, more controversy again with home plate, and I don't know. I did a little bit different than the previous day. I don't want to maybe defend the Padres' position compared to the Rangers situation. Like I said, I agree with what people are saying about the rule just being bad. I'm talking about the uh, 2 nights ago when the
Right.
Rangers catcher, he had his foot on home plate, but probably should be a little bit of discretion when the review looks at it, that he was afforded the opportunity to touch
Right.
the front of the plate or the front corner or whatever. Uh, the ruling was correct, despite everybody being up in arms about it, because you can't be touching home plate if you're the catcher when you receive the ball. Now, for yesterday's uh, in the Padre game, it's almost like a free roll. Why not, run home more often? Because,
Right.
okay, say the throw comes in and
And
I
you have
get
to
it, you're
move.
not even halfway. Where do I stand now? I've got the ball. I should have the right of way to, when I'm holding the ball, to block you. I mean, remember this
Agreed.
rule was changed because Buster Posey was injured several years. Wow, what was 12 years ago now? I don't know. A long time ago, he broke his leg. Remember? And a
Right.
collision at home plate. Of course, everybody remembers, but the most famous collision uh, happened in an All-Star game when Pete Rose barreled over Ray Fosse when All-Star games meant something, so he was blocking the plate. To me, the catcher is the one at risk. Don't block the plate if you don't want to get hurt, type of thing. Maybe just have it where players can only slide, and if you slide into a guy that has the ball, you're out. Come on.
Right.
So just
If the ball gets there before you should be out, right?
right,
Simple.
Sanchez seemed to receive the ball almost on the inner part of the line of the baseline. Maybe he was just over it a little bit, and he moved to the left to try to tag the runner who was already shifting his uh, running path to the outside. So something's not right here with that rule. Nothing we can do, I guess, this
We
year.
would just like to call the commissioner, phone a friend.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can look. Maybe they don't care. Maybe this is the way they want it. But uh, seems like to run, just run home. Just run home. If I run home, you got the ball. I run into you. You're blocking my way. I'm safe. I think. I don't know. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning's team with the Midwest Premier Sports Handicapper. Yeah, I'm not defending the Padres. I had the Giants. I won the challenge, but
That's right.
4-2 was the final score yesterday. Uh, Baseball action. We'll have more. You mentioned it today. We got a short card, 8 games, including the makeup game between Arizona and Washington. Mostly a day card today, and then we have WNBA. You mentioned it, WNBA college baseball. I'll also talk about the big game in Canadian football tonight between
Okay.
the Lions and the Bucks. So we'll get started, get rolling here. In just a moment, say hello to some people. I think other than that, the big story tonight is, of course, the NBA draft. We
Right.
did see we saw some
We
movement
saw a
on
sweet first pitch. That's right.
things. Huh?
We saw a sweet first pitch. I always love those. Like, I don't know why they make folks that, normally don't, throw a baseball, go out there and throw a baseball. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's just tradition and they sign up for it. But it was a bit outside.
Yeah, well, I give him credit. He had the motions down. He knew what to do. How to. He obviously studied it a little bit. He's a man of the world, so he's probably seen a baseball game or two. But he had the motions down. You just got to make sure. Just toss it in there. You don't have to throw a fastball. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I thought
A little lob.
did you see the cutest one of the weekend was on Father's Day when one of the I don't know I remember what team it was. I would say maybe the Cardinal, but the little boy came out and put his dad's catcher's mask on and threw the ball about 4 feet, and that
Nice.
one was wonderful. But yeah, so we'll see. Wemby, I guess we can just call him Wemby. I think that's what we're supposed. Everybody's going to call him that now. We've seen him. I mean, I've watched him, on some of
I'm
these
sure. Yeah.
feeds before play a little bit, and maybe everyone's seen highlights of him. To me, I'm sure he's a can't miss prospect. I mean, usually these type of prospects go on to have great careers. Does look frail to me at this point, but there's
Yeah.
not to say that he won't grow into a larger frame, if you will. He's still somewhat of a young man, but maybe he's reached his. I don't think he's growing any taller, certainly. But yeah, he might be. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the type of player that he might remind me of. Thinking of taller, thinner centers, if you will. Um, but we'll see. Sure, be a great player and fit in the right organization. So we'll see. We saw the trade yesterday. Everyone's saying the Celtics got away with one, trading a pretty great player in Marcus Smart, very good player, consummate team player, but someone you'd want on your team, I would think. But everyone's saying the Celtics got away with one here. We're getting a couple of draft picks and getting Porzingis. So we'll see what everyone thinks maybe of that. But we'll see tonight. There's betting on the NBA draft for the most part. Here, the betting's closed, I believe, in Las Vegas. They shut it down a day before. Just the law here, the rules,
Okay.
if you will. So we'll see tonight. That's the featured attraction tonight, the NBA draft. We won't cover too much about that, but we're certainly going to be watching that. Everybody talking. We saw a little bit of controversy, but ESPN did a little tweet with Marcus Smart in a new Memphis Grizzlies uniform and then changed his hair to blue, which was absolutely disrespectful because the reason why Marcus Smart's hair is green is not because necessarily he was on the Celtics. It might have been a convenient coincidence, but his mother, who had passed away, always wanted to see him with green hair. So after he passed away, he changed his hair to green. And then they made a little tweet, said, hey, Marcus Smart's been traded to Memphis, and then changed his hair to blue. But that, doesn't make any sense. If anything, they should have either left it green or maybe just changed it to the natural color, to a darker shade. So anyways, Marcus Smart on the Memphis Grizzlies. We saw some draft picks being traded as well. It feels like it's going to be crazy tonight. I have a feeling. I mean, nobody seems to be satisfied the way the contracts are, the players themselves. I feel like maybe there could be some flying parts tonight at the NBA draft. Hello to everybody. Let's say hello and get rolling with this show. We can get out of here relatively quick today with our card, but want to say hello to everyone because everybody's a little slow getting in the house.
Right.
Cheryl,
waking up.
Ziggy and Thomas and Ash. We swept the WNBA game, huh, Mindy, with the
Aces.
Yeah, what let's see. I said over and you said aces. And you said aces. They were up by 27 as your number said. It kind of came back down, but I think
they went like 0 for 6 there at the end.
Yep. And they covered interestingly about that. The steam kind of came in on Phoenix. Las Vegas still got the money. So Thomas Lewis is here. James Bond. Here's Blake as well. And Luis, hello. Thomas talking about that. We'll talk about the College World Series, but I was under the impression that the LSU Tigers would be starting their ace yesterday, and that wasn't the case. So now they're in the driver's seat. Anybody who's seen the line sees exactly what's going on. I tried to sell it yesterday, and maybe that should have been an indicator that Wake Forest was favored, that maybe the best pitcher in the country wasn't starting, but he is tonight.
Right.
And we've got a new favorite to win the College World Series in this game. We'll see if that changes Mindy's opinion. CTG is here today. Thomas, I think he's talking about the home plate rule. Yeah, I got an easy fix for you, Mindy. You ever played a little slow pitch softball, and they put a little orange mat 10 feet away from home plate that the runner runs to instead of going to home plate to avoid collisions, especially like co-ed slow pitch. So there's no sliding. There's nothing at home. You just run. There's a line halfway between third base and home. If you run past that line, you have no choice. You got to run home. They get you on a force out. That's it. That would be boring, but there you go. Maybe they'll go to that.
But it's safe.
The way these rules, right. I mean, they all want safety. Okay. So hello to Butterscotch as well. Yeah, maybe the trades will be happening before the draft as well. Hello to what's Gary's nickname again?
Biggie.
Huh?
Biggie.
Biggie. Okay. Oh, I didn't know. So I'm a Pepsi guy too, Thomas. Hey, all right. James Colazzo, how you doing? Good to see you. I don't know what that means, but Gerardo here today. I played some MLS premiums last night, but only could come away with one win. So Thomas talking about the Twin Towers there. Yeah, maybe like a Mutombo type, right? He was kind of frail, but then grew into his body to become one of the greatest shot blockers of all time. And he played with a great player, though, too. That helps. Ralph Sampson, too, yeah. I said Mutombo. He said Houston, which is a mistake on my part to say Mutombo. But maybe Ralph Sampson. Yeah, Ralph Sampson type of physique. Bionic here. And Gabriel Mraz, hello.
Yeah.
Nice to have you.
Sounds like a newbie.
Yeah.
Maybe not new, but new to the chat, new to typing.
And Biggie says he's gonna be. Oh, okay. He's gonna have a date. It looks like here. She's a bad mama jamma. All right. Keith Arway back. Haven't seen Keith in a while. Gerardo crushed the MLS. Gerardo, I need you. Where are you at? I mean, I'm had a couple of L's there. My one win, I had to wait. It had a rain delay or lightning delay of like 3 hours, it felt like. And Butterscotch says he's coming off a winning night. Let's head over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look. It was a pretty deep leaderboard last night for the crew over there, Mindy at Tony'sPicks.com. Deep leaderboard for sure. Pravi was here. We go. Pravi was extremely active on the card with 23 plays, 15 and 8 yesterday.
Just was in action on everything.
Loading up on some Major League Baseball. Rafi Riddles 6-1, Nick Lagaretos 5-1, Ralph Raymond and Tony T both 3-0 on the night. The GM went 4-1. Ben Ruhala 3-1. Collins Brown 4-2. There I am with a 6-4 night. Our morning's team went 4-3 yesterday, Mindy. So we're still showing profit this week. Certainly over the last 7 days here, there we are. We are on top of the handicapper leaderboard. Last 7 days up 1,400. Big days here for us right now. Really in a good groove thanks to the subscribers of those picks, even though we're going to get them out for free here in just a moment. Mindy and I are just thrilled by how many people are still willing. And I don't know, maybe it means you're not watching, but that's okay. You can't make every show. So the fact that you guys are picking up those subscriptions or daily packages, if you can't make it, that just makes us feel really great. Tim Irwin right there, up a nickel over the last 7 days. Sean Dinwiddie, king of totals, 70% over the last 7 days. Rafi Riddles and the GM. Vinny also clicking over the last week. And over the last month, it's us, Mindy. We're on top of the handicapper leaderboards with our morning's team picks here on the show, and we're going to get to them right away. But we'll also tell you about our premium picks. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. Mindy and I are going to go through the whole card in just a moment, give you a bunch of free winners. We hope. And but you can get our premium picks over at tonyspicks.com, and some of the handicappers are loaded up because we've got day games coming up, including Tiffany. She's got her MLB, WNBA 5-pack. Mindy, you're ready to go here.
Ready to go.
You're rolling in this WNBA card tonight, and you got a baseball 5-pack ready to go here as we start these games. These games will go off at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific today. Also want to mention Daniel Wolasachuk has a 3-pack. So, Mindy, go ahead and promote your action today here.
Yeah, so I'm ready to go. Like you said, in the WNBA, be giving out my other sides and totals here on the show. So you can go ahead and take a look at that. Plus, of course, a 5-pack in Major League Baseball here today. Runs the whole gamut from the early morning till the night. So it should be a good one here. So go ahead and pick those up. Pretty easy. About what? $5 per play.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared with this. What am I going to do? The Canadian football game might be, well, like I said, the NBA draft. Good thing that'll be going on. But remember, that's really kind of a fast show, really, considering. Enjoy the evening. Not a lot of sports tonight, but Mindy and I will be involved in this card. Let's head back to and see if anybody else has crossed in. We're about ready to go here. Ron's here today, Mindy.
Right. He loves baseball now. Maybe what? First year betting or so? Loves it.
Let's talk about it then and get ready for this baseball card. Hope everybody's got it right, that there is a write-in game today. Let's see. I think I have the other game listed first there, so we'll start it off, though. Let's get rolling in Major League Baseball for this Thursday matinee heavy. The Atlanta Braves. Well, this one doesn't have anything to do with the write-in game, although there are a little bit of changes in this one. After yesterday's postponement, the game will be made up later in the year, so they're going to end up what's happened. Really, Nola will still go, but the Braves are able to get away from Smith-Shawver. I don't think they're disappointed or frustrated with their young pitcher, but they can come back with Bryce Elder here in a very important game, and that looks good for the Braves. The Braves are just a slight favorite, however, here in this one at $1.15, and the total is 8.5 over 15. We'll note, Mindy, that in yesterday's game wasn't too different. Maybe the Phillies were the slight favorite, but not a huge move here with Bryce Elder instead of Smith-Shawver. That has moved him to the favorite, though, where yesterday they were the Phillies were kind of about $1.15 or so.
Yeah, Braves have still won 7 of their last 8. Also have scored 20 in the last 20 runs in the last 3 games here. And then Bryce Elder, I mean, who wouldn't want him on the mound? 1.76 ERA here. On the road compared to Nola's at 3.92. Braves still hitting heavy, 5.41 runs per game compared to the Phillies, 4.39. I'm going to go ahead and take the Braves today. On the money line, what do you got it at? Minus about 115?
Yeah. Yep. I've got it. Let's see. What were we doing yesterday? What were we doing? I had the Braves as a premium. I had the Braves as a premium. So
and I think you had it as under, right? Something like that.
I had a premium on the Braves, and I did give out the under. You gave out the Braves, but I think now with this pitching change, that I can come in with you on the Braves. I think is what I feel like doing now with this one. We've got Nola here, certainly, with those struggles that we talked about. That's what I talked about a little bit yesterday. So I want to come in with the Braves with you. Let's see what the chat has to say here in this one. Elder with that 2.6 ERA, certainly better. Looks, a little bit more experience than Smith-Shawver. Not by too much, but let's see here what the chat has. All right. Braves money line for Twan. All right. And Luis is on the Braves, Butterscotch, Atlanta. It's all Atlanta here, Mindy. We don't have
All
to go
right.
much further, it looks like. Preppy, Bionic. There are no, Nathan. I try to stick to
Please
things
sports.
where I have control. I rarely play a machine. I play regular poker. That's right. And I was up late last night watching the Poker Players Championship. Has anybody been following? There's been a controversy.
Yeah, you have to tell us about the cheating. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, this controversy might be over a little bit. Thomas says Atlanta here, but one player's come in from a Czech player, and he self-admittedly had some tics, maybe some ADHD that makes him a little bit awkward. He's also a very talkative player, but his motions and his mannerisms look like he was touching the cards in certain ways. He has long fingernails, similar to what a guitar player might have, although he's never mentioned it. I watched an hour interview with him yesterday. I've watched several interviews with experienced players and all that, but they were accusing him of making indentations on the cards, possibly, and things like that. And then when players were right next to him, he would get very close to their cards and almost be staring right down at their cards as if to try to differentiate markings on the cards that maybe he had made. But no, nothing's come of it. It's just been very controversial. So,
gotcha.
But the Poker Players Championship concludes today. That's with the elite $50,000 tournament. They play all the games. All right, I'll take the Braves with you, Mindy. Let's take the Braves here today in this one on the road. Big game still, no matter what they say. Here, the Phillies are still very, very hot. Remember, they've won 13 of the last 16. Atlanta's won 15 of the last 18. We covered a lot of it yesterday. We'll take the Braves today. Here. The only thing that's changed maybe is that Bryce Elder is pitching. I haven't really looked to see if there's been any lineup change. With it being maybe there's some out, but I haven't seen it yet. There are no lineups out just quite yet, although we are expecting them here momentarily. I would think a couple of them by the end of the show. Philly team total over for CTG. All right, we're underway, and we've got a play on the Atlanta Braves. Thanks, everybody. All right, the Diamondbacks and the Nationals. This is a write-in game. So here's a little bit of trickiness to this one, Mindy. The fact that, look, Arizona is by far the better team. In fact, they're one of the hottest teams in the league. We know their offense is on fire. Maybe the best offense going right now. Statistically, maybe not, but if you shorten down the sample size a little bit, right, how hot they are. But they've had to go from Milwaukee into Washington for just this one game, and then they go home. So, you know how the emotions of professional athletes are. It might be easy to overlook this opponent here today, even though it's one of the worst teams in the league. So it's basically, a team that has been very, very dominant with this little bit of travel niche here where it's a day game, right? Let's just get it over with. We can get home, win or lose. We're still 15 games over 500. Diamondbacks here favored 145, 9.5 over 15.
Yeah, Ramon got that win on the show yesterday with the Nationals on the run line, but not going Nationals here today. I'm going to go with Tommy Henry. He's just limited the Guardians to basically 2 runs and 6 hits in his last effort there. And we know Jake Irvin hasn't been, especially good here so far. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Diamondbacks here today, and they're 5.65 runs of offense. Nationals still struggling to score over 3 runs. That's what they got versus those Cardinals yesterday. So they're still limited on offense there a little bit. Going with the Diamondbacks.
Okay, well, despite my warnings to Mindy, I'm going to just agree with her. I would say a little bit of caution here in this one. Daryl, thank you. Yeah, we'll talk about that big game in just a little bit. Anthony Mule, want to say hello to you as well. Looks like he says been watching the show here.
Nice.
Okay, Darren. Let's see. Here's Nathan. He's got the Diamondbacks in this one, first five. I think that's money line here. Ziggy wants to go over. I saw Ziggy's tweet just come out. I don't know if it's one of his premiums, but here's Arizona team total over for the Scotch lock. He says Irvin's last six starts, all opponents have went over the team total. I will mention though that Arizona has won the last five starts for Henry and Irvin. He mentioned, look, he says Irvin's last six starts been getting crushed. He has an 8.17 ERA in his last six starts. So
Yeah, that might be
even
correct.
with this travel that I've cautioned, I'm going to go with Mindy here. We're going to lay this one. You guys also, point to the over, but a lot of sometimes in these, maybe the one thing I'll say, not to disagree with these guys, these that are going over and talking about Arizona and the travel, just get out of here. But sometimes those games go under, just rushing it through a little bit. All right, Anthony, hello and good morning. Here's Nathan. Here, Nathan says Nationals. Unless you can interpret that, I'm not sure.
No, Nathan said D-Cracks, first five.
Okay.
The Serpentines, yeah.
Fair enough.
And then he went back to say the Nationals are stinky.
Okay, but there's Andre Glasgow as well. So lots of people on the over. I'm not having any part of it. I know even though Henry has been hot, they've won those last five starts. They're 8-2 with Henry, but he still has a 4.5 ERA in those last few starts and a 4.66 ERA overall. So he hasn't been necessarily overwhelming with his stats, but he's up 5.5 units so far in his 10 starts. Pretty darn good. All right, Mindy, we're on 2 plays already today, which is good because we've been clicking. Mindy and I have a little pool, put our money together and bet these games. We're not going to just give them out for free.
It's fun having a betting partner, Ramon. I like it.
Yeah, that's been a life changer for me. And, over the last few weeks, we've certainly been running up a pretty good number here, cashing out. All right, Athletics and Guardians in this one. This is another early start, right in with those other ones at 1 Eastern here. This will be J.P. Sears and Logan Allen in this one. Big favorite here, of course, for the Guardians. But I don't know, these prices are starting to come back down to earth a little bit. Not like the A's are winning anything. Logan Allen's been downright pretty okay. But, Sears, potential. But still, the A's back to losing here a little bit. What you got?
Yeah, Cleveland's run line has been a little sketchy, right? 7-18 here. Haven't necessarily taken it to this A's team. And Oakland hits lefties pretty good. 237 batting average, 688 on base percentage here. I think this one's going to go over the total today. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Sears has that 5.23 ERA on the road. Logan Allen, 4.5 at home. Again, we know that this A's team, they're always going to put up at least 3 or 4. We know the Guardians can score at least 3 or 4. So I'm looking for this one to get up over the total here today.
All right, Mindy's on the over in this one with these 2 pitchers. Allen has an ERA of near 5 in his last 4 starts. He's up 4.25 units so far this year for the Guardians. As far as Sears is concerned, a 2.94 ERA in his last 6 starts. Maybe these A's starters have gotten it together a little bit. We know that, Sears, they acquired him for a reason. It's not like he was just some one, an A's pitcher like some of these guys that just needed to come in here. But A's, give them a little many. Out of those last 7 losses, only 5 of them have been by just 1 run, interestingly enough. So I think this is a safe price for me to take the Guardians in this one. I'm going to take them on the money line here on the show. going to give out a big favorite. Hey, try to stop me. There's only 8 games.
Try to stop me.
What am I going to do? They won their last 3 games. I'll take the Guardians minus $1.75. Maybe to go down. I don't know. Anthony says take the A's on the run line. Reno Veljasic. I think I got that. I'm going to say I got that one right. Reno maybe Velocic. Now I'm thinking Velocic, actually.
I think that might be it.
And welcome. Yeah. Let's see here.
A lot of A's there.
Looks really, wow. I'm just going to lay the money line. I'm going to lay the money line.
Nice day.
I'm just fading the chat. Bad news for me. Ziggy on the Athletics. Ron on the Athletics. Jeremy Bryant, Athletics. Hello to Howard. As always, good morning. And Thomas on Oakland. Nathan A's first to 2. Boy, I am the oddball here. Jacek. I was way off, but great to have you, Reno. And that's what he's going to get called. Reno. Alan, good to see Alan today. We need him here today with that 3-game WNBA card. And Oakland plus 1.5. Yeah, Cleveland plays close games too because they got no offense, Mindy. But you've got them to score some runs today. And the A's probably as well. So Darren's with me. We're laying $1.75. Maybe that's why everyone's kind of shying away. Don't forget, these are still the Oakland A's. We've lost 7 straight, you guys. Yep. Yeah, funny, Mindy. We are doing a great job in the WNBA, but my premiums, I don't care as long as we're winning here on the
Right.
I do care. I want to get them right. But, with less games, there's only so many things you can choose from. Here's Cleveland run line for Darren. He's probably got and Fernando says first 5 for the A's. So I'd say the A's are the choice of the chat. I'll go Cleveland, and Mindy is on the over. One more game in that 1 o'clock block, and this one's going to be the Red Sox. This one was a little slow to get that lineup because of the Red Sox pitching plans here in this one. But this is Justin Garza, the 30-year-old. He's been in the league here for a couple of years. I think he was in the minors, I want to say last year, and then pitched the year before that. So want to report that right now steam is coming in at this very moment on the Boston Red Sox. This one got as high as $1.60, $1.65, but all of a sudden it's down to $1.50. Here comes the money on Boston. Maybe because these bats right now are red hot. Joe Ryan's starting to come back down to earth. Maybe here, obviously he is. So what do you have in this one, Mindy? I want to say Minnesota even got as high as $1.70 here at one point. I see one book, but right now the money's coming in on the Red Sox.
Gotcha. Well, I was not looking for the Red Sox here today. I kind of feel like the Red Sox are kind of running out of pitching here a little bit. I think that might be why they're going with Garza. Might end up maybe a little bit more of a bullpen game is kind of how I go ahead and see it here. But yeah, it's Londo's birthday, 31 today. Happy birthday.
Great.
I like it.
Birthday pick. We have
to find a birthday pick for him. But yeah, I'll be on the Twins today with Joe Ryan, 3.35 ERA. Just need Minnesota's offense to wake up a little bit here. I think they get it done though today. I'm taking the Twins.
Yeah, and I would say that Garza is certainly an opener. This is a bullpen game for the Red Sox. Garza's made 12 appearances, his first start of the season. He's got an ERA of, let's see, what is it? 3.46 right now for Garza, but he's the opener. Red Sox have won 6 of 7. We had that one nailed, I think, yesterday, Mindy. I ended up with a premium on we ended up on the Twins yesterday, and they get it done. I think it was 5-4, actually, in 10 innings. So Red Sox have won 6 of 7. The Twins struggling, but did get that win. So I'm going to come back with you on this one
All
with
right, let's do it.
Garza today. Now, I mean, with Ryan here in this one at what
I was like,
looks
who's the Garza that used to pitch for the Cubs? That's a while ago. Is it Matt Garza? Is that who pitched for the Cubs?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's a long time ago too.
Yeah,
2006-ish or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. For sure.
But I always liked watching him pitch.
Let's go ahead and take the Twins again in this one. Look, I know a lot of people are hot on these Red Sox, this Red Sox offense right now. Interestingly, the total does seem to be dropping here a little bit. Ryan still just a 3.3 ERA. He's struggled, though, in his last 4 starts with an ERA of 6. And the Twins have won just 5 of their last 17, but we were on them yesterday and got it done, so we'll be back on them here again today. Take the Twins. We're on the Twins, but I think the chat's probably going to be maybe a little bit of a mixed bag there. Here, Boston for Luis. And over for Kevin Graham. Reno's on the Red Sox. Nathan says it's a tarp. Anthony on the run line here with the Red Sox. Andre, Minnesota money line. This one's all over the place. Ziggy's on the Twins and lay the 1.5. Jeremy Bryant, Twins first 5. And let's see here. One more politician says Boston team total over. Steven here today. You'll just stay away. And Butterscotch. Yeah, Kevin, how about these hot streaks? Mindy, I think this has kind of been unprecedented right now over the last couple of weeks, how many teams have put together significant winning streaks.
Yeah, like 5 games plus, yeah.
8 out of 10 games. Butterscotch here on Boston. But we're going to take Minnesota here together. James Dixon, hello. Thank you, Blake, for keeping us updated. I want to say we got to 123 yesterday. Did anybody see any more than that? Hello to Jim here today with his Giants.
Right in time.
All right, we'll take the Twins here, Mindy, again. Come back on them. And we're ready. It's ready for the Padres and the Giants. Blake Snell gets a lot of heat, but boy, he's been hot here going up against Wood, who has decent numbers, but he really is a guy that keeps you in the game. He's up in his 8 starts so far. He's up 6 units. It's been pretty. That's pretty good to me. Padres here are the slight favorite. In fact, they're up to $1.30 now on the road, despite their tumbling here at this point. 8.5 under 20 totals going lower right now.
Yeah, been a little bit on the wrong side of the Padres. I kind of feel like I should have you go first in this situation. But I'm going to go ahead and go back on the Giants. I'm going to take them on the run line, though. It's about minus 150, minus 160. The Giants have had to come from behind in a lot of these victories. That's why I'm being a little bit cautious going on that run line there here today. Because, again, like you said, Snell's been pretty effective. These pitchers look like they match up really well. 1.46 whip, a 1.44 whip, ERA of 3, ERA of 4. I mean, it's across the board. K rate of 39, K rate of 25. I mean, like, there is a lot of parity here in this pitching matchup. So for me, though, I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants. They get that last at-bat, Ramon. Sometimes that helps a team out there as well.
Yeah, okay, at $1.45, I'll take the Giants with you. Look, Snell has been pretty good, despite the fact that he's down 5.5 units this year. In his last 5 starts, an ERA of 0.6. Padres have gone under in 7 of his last 8 starts, but Padres just can't seem to beat anybody here at this point. In his starts this season, the Padres are 4-10. With Wood, like I said, they're 6-2. The Giants, they've won 10 straight games now. Again, I just talked about those streaks. So I guess that really means we should be taking him on the money line. I don't know, but Snell's been so hot. You mentioned it could be a closer pitching matchup. Wood 4.2. See that 4.20 ERA. That's good for our chat. Over the last 3 starts, 2-1 in those starts. In his career, a 3.14 ERA in 15 career starts, and Snell 2.51 ERA in 6 starts against San Francisco. Look at the totals, 8.5. Feels pretty premium-y. I'm going to take the Giants with Mindy here. We'll take them plus a 1.5. When you said it, I looked over and I really expected to see it at like 165 or something, but maybe because it's starting, the move is coming in on the Padres. $1.45 doesn't feel too icky. Can I say that? Icky?
Yeah, I think you can.
Let's see here. I wonder if Jim's going to be on it with us. Hello to Moneyline here today. Andre's going to take that under. Das Diggity, who are these guys? Good to see you, Daz. Nice to have you. Got new names here today too. Is this maybe words catching? Maybe words spreading about our winning ways right now.
That's right.
Jim's going to take that Giants run line with us and the under. That's exactly where I'm in line with him here in this one. Steven says first 5. Maybe Snell gets off to another good start here. Butterscotch says Padres first 5. Snell with those great numbers. Ziggy going with the under. Darren first 5 under. Bionic will do the run line with us, I believe. Yes. Also, Giants money line for money line. How about that? Jeremy says take the Giants. Interesting there. Butterscotch says Wood struggles in day games.
All right.
Anthony on the Giants. Londo likes the Padres. Fernando says take the Giants. Maybe I could tease Fernando a little bit. A very popular YouTube host keeps calling him Fernando Valenzuela, which is not a terrible thing to be called, certainly.
Right.
But I think Fernando gets a laugh out of that every time. Very, very popular sports host. Razzie Love here. Reno says Padres win it, but he's picking a 1-run game, basically, I think is what he's saying there. Padres to win by a run. Darren under. Thomas Lewis is channeling Icky Woods here. Kevin Graham says Padres team total over. Thomas on the Giants. And Jim says it will be a 1-run game. All right, Mindy. We're going to have some action here despite
That's right. We're already up to 4 consensus play. Got half of them.
Wow. Pirates and Good Keller going up against the Marlins and Garrett. These 2 pitchers have been money so far for the most part this year. They're not overwhelming statistically, but when they've been pitching, they produce some victories for their teams despite the Pirates stumbles. Marlins are going one way, Pirates are going another. Marlins here just $1.37. Oh, this one's gone down. It's 7 over 20. Total 7 now.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that might come down to a bullpen game, and that Miami bullpen is way better than this Pirates bullpen right now. Keller, he's had some struggles, 4.4 ERA, but so is Braxton Garrett, right? He's 6.35 on the road. So again, I think it might come down to these later innings. You got the Marlins here with the hotter bats, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and go on the Marlins here today.
Garrett just a 2.11 ERA in his last 7 starts, and Miami clicking. I love this discount, I think, right here for the most part. I feel pretty good about it, actually. I give Keller a real chance. Pirates are 10-5 in his starts this season, but he's come back down to earth. His 3.62 overall ERA is kind of starting to go up. He's has a 5.4 ERA in his last 4 starts. Marlins are 10-3 with Braxton Garrett starting. They've also won 13 of their last 18, and Pittsburgh has lost 12 of their last 14. Steam actually came in on the Marlins, and now it's starting to go back on the Pirates. I thought it would be a public play, but maybe the Sharps will now want to come in on Pittsburgh. I don't know, but who wants Pittsburgh at this point? Maybe someone in the chat will be a little bit contrarian. Here's Jim says lay 1.5 runs, it looks like, in this one. He says Miami by 2. Andre, no run first inning. Brett has his K prop here. Andre says also go under. Stephen Matthews says take that Marlins team total. Jeremy says he's got a dime on the Marlins today. Thomas on the Marlins. Bionic on the Marlins. This is why it's a consensus. Darren also adds the under. Jim says, though, I'll maybe go over in this one. And now that it's 7, I mean, I already was kind of leaning over. And now that you have it at 7, I get it maybe with these two. But Pat McCart, wow, hello, good to see you. He's a little bit behind in the stream, so he'll see this. But good to have Pat McCart, obviously a new name here. And he says Boston lost a good player, just didn't work here. But I don't know. I think he was one thing that was working, and he felt very reliable. I know that maybe people closer to Boston felt maybe he was supposed to be a bigger star, but in his role, and I don't know, he's not even a role player. He's certainly a very above average player. Boy, here's Luis on Miami, and Fernando will be the man to take the Pirates today. Someone had to.
Right.
And Kevin also pointing out, though, that Keller gave 10 hits to the Giants and 8 to the A's. So he says take the team total over. All right, Mindy, wow. Do we have any premiums left? You already got your premiums. You've got plenty of action today. All right.
So did you agree? I didn't hear.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yes. I want to take now at this price. I want to
Marlins.
take Marlins.
I feel like it might be Londo's birthday pick.
Okay, let's do it because it's a decent price. Here, you get $1.30 with a team that's won, like I said, 13. Like I said it, I won't, don't want to bore you. 13 of 18, 10-3 with this pitcher starting. Pittsburgh lost 12 of 14 right now. That feels pretty good at $1.30. Sorry for the typo right there in that one, but we'll get it right, show it there so no one gets too confused, and we'll move on to the next game. Take the Marlins.
There we go.
Here with our baseball picks. Mindy will give us the update. Look at this one. I mean, 360 here. Look, I get it. I mean, it's a bullpen game, but it's not like Jose Cuas is some, call up from the minors. I mean, this guy's been with the Royals for years. Mindy, anybody watches this team, knows when it's, Cuas time. So, he has plenty of experience. I mean, sure, the Royals are in a bad way right now, and he's just an opener. We get it. But 360 now all of a sudden? Okay, I get it. McClanahan, Cy Young leading candidate at this point. So how can you attack this one?
How about those Tigers yesterday, Ramon? That's the big story there, right? I mean, this one here might be the mismatch of the century. I mean, I don't know. You got McClanahan here on the mound versus this lowly hitting Royals team. And of course, the Rays have been really, really good at home, 31-8. So for me, I mean, I definitely want to take the Rays at -1.5. I haven't done it yet because it's sitting at like -170, -180. It's one of those, like, I don't know if it's just worth it or not. I do feel like it's kind of a done deal. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and go under the total. I think the Royals got no chance versus McClanahan here today.
All right, Mindy, take the under here in this one with the Royals. Obviously, you probably have a shutout. I don't know is what you're calling for here, it feels like, in this one with McClanahan. Yeah, no doubt. 2.29 ERA in his last 3 starts is actually above his season ERA of 2.12, but just means he's ultra consistent. You had the right side. You won the challenge yesterday. I took the Royals, but I did have a premium pick on the over
right
matchup.
Easy over.
Yeah. So for me, I'm kind of, let's see, 7.5 over 20. I mean, I'm leaning. Yeah, I'll be the one. I'll take the Rays on the run line at the ridiculous price. Maybe minus $1.75. I'll do it. I'll lay it. Maybe I know we're gonna probably see 2.5, three, and maybe they'll be saying, "Oh, lay 3.5 runs here." I don't know. Yeah, I see the 2.5s already. I'm just sticking to 1.5 because that's what we offer, of course, at the website. But maybe 2.5. Reno says 1.5. Andre Ray's team total over. Jim Pritchett run line. Steven says lay 2.5. Ziggy says lay 2.5. Ron Hahn, lay it. Butterscotch, lay it. Luis, also Anthony, everybody's on the Rays, so I'll take the Rays. Jim says it's going to be 4-1. That would fit the bill between everybody here. Londo likes the under as well with you, Mindy. So does Luis. All right, yeah, right. I mean, the Rays don't look like some of these good teams that kind of get caught into situations here. The Rays are above that because
Yeah, they look like they're still having fun whooping up on people. So, it looks like a good crew there that they got. But they just want to take it to teams, and I like that mentality.
Tommy's on the Rays today. Hello, Tommy. And Jeremy says it's a tarp, and he's got to see the lineup. Well, I don't know if we got to go that far. I don't know if they're. I mean, I could take a look to see if there's anybody missing from the. Oh, and Tommy. Oh, maybe. Oh, Tommy says. Oh, okay, he might be on the Royals here. I actually think it's. I just feel like what the chat about the Rays right now. I think the line's probably too high, but I'm just going to give it out as a play on the show here. Yeah. Oh, look what Moneyline says when you see it's higher. Or no, Ziggy said when it's been 2.5s, those teams been getting it. When a book will sometimes list a 2.5 as the regular run line
going out.
Yeah. Arnez here today. Good to see Arnez. Yeah, seeing what the chat has to say here. So heavy on the Rays, and the public betting hasn't really started yet. I'm feeling like get it now. I mean, maybe Mindy, you mentioned. I think probably could be $4. I would maybe by game time. I don't know if they're gonna come back on the Royals at all. The Sharps would have to get involved. Nobody wants them. And here's 3.5 for Butterscotch. Okay, let's get our last game in here. Mindy, the Mariners and the Yankees meeting again tonight. After last night, we had a winner there with Team Steam. I also had my social media play on the over. We took the Yankees on the run line yesterday. Said something looked a little goofy with it. And sure enough, the Yankees did a nice job. So here's Domingo Germán, though, favorite here, $1.15, 7.5 over 25.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Yankees again. Ramon, this Seattle team has had a hard time with Germán. They just haven't been able to score. I don't know what's up with this offense. I also think Wu has done a pretty good job here thus far, and we know that the Yankees are struggling a little bit without Aaron Judge, but I still think the Yankees go ahead and get this one here today.
All right. Mindy says take the Yankees minus $1.15. This total 7.5 over 25 now. I'm not so. I'm going to go over. I think in this game, even though it's in Yankee Stadium, and certainly some of these Yankee games have been rather lower scoring. But Germán 4-2 to the over in his last 6 starts. He does have a 5.52 ERA in his last 3 starts. We know Wu so far been profitable, but he's got a 7 ERA, over 7 ERA so far. I'm giving the Mariners a big chance in this game. That's why I'm going to end up on the over in this one. Steam came in on the under here, but I'm taking this one over tonight. Mariners and Yankees. Maybe the chat seems like the one game where they are not as interested here necessarily. Here's Jim with a K prop over for Woo. Ziggy is on the Mariners on the run line. That's a big price at nearly probably $2 there. I'm just willing to take the Mariners, but I'm taking the over as my official play here on the show. Jim says take the under as well. Andre, lay the run line with the Yankees. That's a better price at plus $1.60 or 65. I agree, Stephen. I think Woo is certainly better than that 7.3 ERA so far. Yankees an under for Luis. And all right. And we got Kevin will say Seattle on the run line. Londo's on the over with me here in this one. And all right. Mariners here for James Dixon. All right, Mindy, that's a look at Major League Baseball. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions today. We're in action here big time with this 8-game card. All right, we've got WNBA action. Let's do the baseball, Mindy. Why don't we do the baseball?
Keep it
sports-centric because it's certainly an interesting situation now all of a sudden that the Wake Forest number one. We know that the number one seed never wins the College World Series. So all of a sudden now, Mindy, we've got LSU, the $2 favorite over the number one team in the country. Now, I was under the impression that LSU would throw their ace yesterday. I still took Wake Forest with you. The line should have been an indicator that that maybe LSU was not throwing their ace. It does feel too high, even with Skeens in there, but Skeens is arguably the best pitcher in the country. The total here is out, by the way. Now it's 8. And that's pretty low, but every game seems to go under right now at the College World Series.
Yeah, I'm really worried about Wake Forest. They didn't show a lot of fire yesterday, and now I think that they have a little bit of doubt. So I did select Wake Forest to win this whole thing, but I don't think it's going to happen now. I'm going to go on LSU here, Ramon. I think they're the ones with a little bit of momentum, and this is a game about momentum. It's a game about pitching. Talked about it, right? LSU here has their stud, their ace up here. I think they get him today. I'm going to go ahead and go with LSU. I feel like I only want to take him on the money line just because all of these games have been decided within 1 or 2 runs until yesterday, right? And this is going to be an all-out battle, I think. I'm going to go ahead and just go LSU here on the money line.
All right. Mindy will take LSU in this one to advance. Winner plays Florida. We already know Florida has locked their spot in. This feels like the big, the 2 best teams in the country, unfortunately.
Right. It just got stuck in the same bracket. That's right.
A little bit of disrespect there for Florida. Maybe they, made it to the championship series.
Bats, right?
But and they're resting right now. And LSU rolled the dice. Didn't go with their ace yesterday, got off to that lead and made it stand up. So they, I think it's all based on the fact that he is pitching in this game, that they're a $2 favorite. It doesn't feel quite right. I'll go under. I'm not even sure I like the number at 8 here, but I don't know. The pitching has been good in Omaha. Let's call it like it is. Especially as we've gotten down to it seems like the further in we've gone, the lower the scores have gone. That was a great catch yesterday and to end that game for Florida, wasn't it? Catching that ball up against the fence. Man, that was a good one too. But we've done well in the College World Series. We did lose that one. We laid the run line with Florida, but close one, and we did take Wake yesterday. So we have to turn it around, but we're on 2 plays here. LSU and the under today. Mindy says take LSU. And, now I'm back. Maybe I'm in the driver. I did say LSU to win it all.
That's right.
But I was saying, I was backtracking. I was wishy-washy, saying, well, now Wake Forest is number 1. They'll probably win it, but I'll stick with LSU. But now they're in position. Maybe they will. I do think they will be. The winner of this game will be favored to win the College World Series in this one. And let's see. Okay, here we've got. Oh, that's a record, Scott says. We got 130 record. So is that right, Mindy? 130? Is that a record?
Yeah, it's about that. I don't recall. It's been a while, so.
Yeah, I guess
Scott has been keeping track for us.
Jordan says take LSU on the run line. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking it could still be a 1-run game. This Wake Forest team is the number 1 team in the country. Don't forget. It's not like Skeens is coming in here with a 0 ERA. I mean, he's a pitcher just like anybody. So Kevin says he's been hanging out in the minor leagues with betting those games. All right. Thomas Lewis says the defense is for real. Londo, I think we gave it out already. What was it, Mindy? Was it Miami?
The Marlins. The Marlins. That's your birthday pick. Happy birthday, Londo. 31 years young.
Okay. Tommy says Wake Forest wakes up and wins. Definitely getting the right price here. There's no doubt about it. I just feel like it's too high, even though, like Mindy said, but she can't. Here's the thing, Mindy, when we talk about games getting on the run line, right, we're supposed to lay 1.5 because otherwise, if we think it's going to be closer, we should be going the other way. But if you feel confident that they're going to win, as you do maybe with LSU, taking the money line, I get that, but does still feel high to me. So, okay, let's see here. LSU for Reno, LSU for Solo. And Fernando says, like and smash. Thank you, everybody. That's that college baseball game today. All right. Let's get into the WNBA. There are
all right. The W.
This is our moneymaker. Everybody says today, and it feels like it as well. Our numbers have been good. The Connecticut Sun is going to take on the Minnesota Lynx in this one, and the Sun on the road here are favored by, I'm going to see if it's changed, but 5 and 159 in this one, Mindy. Let's see if that's right. Right now it's 4.5 and 158.
159. That keeps moving up. I like the over here today, Ramon. It is 5-1 in the Suns' last 6 here overall. And again, it just feels like as of late, these two teams have just been lighting it up here, basically. I mean, we're looking at, expected points here for Connecticut reaching the 90s. So I like this one here to go over today.
Wow, that would be a big you figure if you've got the Sun reaching, let's just call it 90 at a minimum, and I didn't get any inclination, and I'm sure you're saving it, so you don't have to give it out. But I'll just look at it from the perspective. Huh?
I said Ramon is like, I can infer what she's trying to say.
Well, no, I'm not going to look at it. I'll look at it with the spread. Okay, so
yeah, right, exactly.
So 90 to 85. Sun's favored by 5, and so 90 to 85. That'd be way over.
Way over.
She's got to be extremely confident on her play on the side, I would think, here in this one.
I feel pretty good. Yeah. Right.
Yep. For me, I think the Sun's looking very, very good. Maybe Minnesota's been pretty decent, getting some numbers. I don't know. What Mindy, I'm not sure I can get a read on what Mindy's doing. I do know this: the Minnesota Lynx do not defend very well at the guard position. I've got them ranked last in the league, so I think Tiffany Hayes can have a strong performance. Even Eidemann. These are the two. If anything, the Connecticut's kind of their. I don't want to say their weakest link. They're a pretty good team right now at 10-3 right now. Minnesota just 4-8 or something like that. So I'm going to take Connecticut and lay these points. in this one. I'm going to take the Sun, lay 4.5, a little bit of a discount price here. So now if I take my pick with Mindy and Connecticut gets 90 here and it still goes over, so maybe 90 to 80 or something like that, I'll just call it. I've got Connecticut and Mindy is on the over. Let's see what the chat has to say because we've got Alan here today. So
giving us the numbers, the data.
Okay, let's see what he says. I mean, we should have saw what he had to say first. Here's Ash on the sky, or is it sun? I don't know. Tommy Guyton says the sun covers and it may go over. What does Alan say? I want to read it. So, like the sun to cover, and I halfway love all of Alyssa Thomas's props. I don't know. Yeah. Minnesota does defend pretty okay against forwards. Jones out of this game, certainly. Thank you for that information, Alan. Great information for our chat here. Zordon will lay it with the Sun. Solo with the Sun. Tommy says take the over. Ash says Sun. Reno Sun. We'll be on the Sun. I'm on the Sun. Mindy is on the over in this one. Here comes the Sun.
Here comes the sun.
The Washington Mystics are going to take on the Chicago Sky. Chicago's been a nice cover in some of these games, and Washington here favored by 3.5. We'll get the lowdown certainly from Alan as well. But Mindy, I'm showing this one is down to 3, and the total here is 154.5. Really, if you're going to think of Mystic games, Mystics, I don't know, do they have the best defensive team in the league? These two just kind of, it's a low total, but these two teams have been going under.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to look under. It looks like it was like 155.5 when I looked at it earlier. Now it's already down to 154, I think that you said. It's one of those, the under is 35-17 and the Mystics last 53. That's kind of what you were talking about there. Also, the under is 13-6 in the Skies last 19 here overall. Also, it's, basically like 1-5 to the under in the last 6 in Chicago. I feel like I got to take the under here today, Ramon.
Yeah, I'll be with you here in this one, even at 154.5. See here what we've got. Fernando will take he was talking about the last game. Thank you, Fernando. Yeah, I don't know why I started with that one here. Alan has the numbers here. He says the Sky will cover here. Yeah, I'm leaning that way. Look at this. Mystics 1-4 in their 5 road games against the spread. The Sky 7-3 against the spread. Well, I like that. Do like that. I'm leaning Sky, but I'll take the under here. Tommy Guyton says Sky +3. Reno calls it a tarp. Mm-hmm. Alan says these games are totally going under for the Mystics here. All right. A few more comments here. Sky in the under for Thomas. Sky money line says they're due for a win. Solo says Mystics take the under and just take the under. Tommy says Cappy gives them the pick to go under in this one. Sky money line first quarter. Sky in the money line first quarter. Corday, hello, Corday says go under with us. We got the under as our official play here on the show.
All right.
One more here in the W tonight. Interestingly, Mindy, the Storm, right? They're pretty dreadful, but they are pretty good against the spread. The Fever are good against the spread too. The thing about the Storm and this good spread run is we've seen it time and time again. Well, I don't know, it's early in the season. There's only been 11 games, so we've seen it several times. The Storm storms back, right? They storm back to get the money. They're losing. They're getting crushed. And they come back in the end of the game. The other team just kind of gives up a little bit. They've got the win, and the Storm come back to get the cover, getting a big number. But here, they're only getting 1.5, now 2 points from the Fever. So that makes it a little bit tougher because they're not getting 5, 6, 7, 8 points.
Right. The Storm are 5-1 against the spread at home, like you said. But if I take that into consideration, I just feel like the Storm is not very good here offensively or defensively. Maybe a little bit of offensive life. They've gotten into the 90s. They hit 100 over like the last week or so, but that's just not something for me that I think that I'm going to see here versus the Fever today. Fever 3-0-2, like you talked about, in their last 5 road games there as well. And this is the team I feel like that is going to be in the conversation for the playoffs here eventually. They've been able to finish games here as of late too, beating teams like the Sparks and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go on the Fever. I'll just take them on the money line here. Just have them win the game.
All right, Mindy on the Fever. A little bit of question here on Boston. So that is my worrisome point at this point with Aaliyah Boston game time decision. It looks like here in this one. So I think that's kind of the question mark for me. So let me take a look though and see what the chat. Maybe Van Allen has some information. Maybe I'll have some information on that here. The thing about the Fever have been, we've already talked. Remember, they had the 20-game losing streak and broke it. And now all of a sudden they got 4 wins. So dramatic improvement for the Fever this season. Ash says, take the Fever. Reno's on the Fever. Tommy on the Fever. Corday on the Fever. Certainly figured, Leah Boston, one of the best players right now. One of the best players going. Great player. So
averages 16 points a game. It's a big number.
I predict. My prediction was that she would not reach her potential early. I'm wrong. She looks very strong out there. So they trust in her too. She gets a lot of action. So Reno said, "Okay, thank you, Reno." And Solo says, "Storm on the money line here tonight." Jeremy says, "Take Indiana." I think that might be a money line. Nonetheless, it's just a 2-point spread. And Corday, so game time decision here, I believe, is what it is for Aaliyah. So, you probably have to wait it out at this point. I think the fact that it's ticked up to 2, I think she will play. I think she's going to be in there for sure. Now they do have a couple of other injuries there on some players. Vivian's will be doubtful, and Berger doubtful. They're kind of reserve players. So I'm going to go under in this one. Thomas says if Fever does play a little bit of deep, Smith is a good defensive player. The rest of them I'm not so hot on, actually, especially the guards. So maybe Thomas. Maybe it was just a pick 'em, though, actually. I don't know. And Alan, what does he say? Okay, I want to see this here. Hard read. He leans Storm at home. Thanks, everybody. Great job with the W. We got one play in
we
the
got
WNBA. You a pick here right now in Canadian football tonight as Mindy gets our plays ready here with our card today. Baseball leading it. The British Columbia Lions and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the 2 top teams in the league so far, battling this Western Division clash. The Bombers maybe the best in the league, but the Lions looking good once again. They're getting 6 points here. And look at this total at 49. Expecting a thrilling game tonight. If you want to get your football fix, maybe even if you don't like it, playing with 3 downs, and we're going to have. Remember this. This is a late game starting at I believe 5:30 out west and 8:30 Eastern time. There's not going to be much sports action, so maybe check this one out here today because this is probably as good as it's going to get this year, at least early on this season between these 2 teams. I like it to go over. I think it's going to be a great game. I got a great game tonight. Go over 49. British Columbia and Winnipeg. Winnipeg's got Kalaros, real good quarterback, maybe the best in the league. Best team, certainly, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Let's go over 49.
All right.
All right, Mindy's going to show us the plays.
They are there.
Baseball. Yep, we got the Braves money line, the Diamondbacks money line, the Twins money line, Giants run line, and Marlins on the money line. All right, and there's our WNBA pick here. Daryl, I see what you're saying there. Fever under with Boston out. I do expect Boston to play. I know that the injury report, I think the actual injury report might actually say she's probable now. I was kind of going off the news reports and seeing it here this morning. It looks like probable, but maybe like what we say, still gimpy, Alan says here in this one. All right, butterscotch eggs. We got under in that Sky game. I hope I made it clear that I like the under in that last WNBA game. I don't know if I actually said it. Mindy was on Indiana, and I'm on the under, yeah. But we're under on the Sky. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot. Great show. Record show. Wish we had more games. Wish we had, more more games we could preview here. Hey, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off our premium picks. Absolutely our best picks are over at Tony'sPicks.com. We talked about Mindy's packages right there, already up, ready, and available. I'm going to get them up there as well now that I know that we're hot and in action in some of these baseball games. Thanks a lot, everybody. Great job. Great show. Mindy, back with you on Friday as we get ready for the weekend. Golf is underway too. I threw out a player in the Discord. We want to check it out. The odds are starting to shuffle a little bit. We can get into some live action. I've got Ches Reavie here at 125-1 as my long shot play for not only the outrights, but also for top 5, top 10, top 20. Ches Reavie has won this tournament before, and he's slowly been progressing here over the last few tournaments, finished 25th in the last event. So, all right, that's going to do it for us here on the morning steam. Great job. Thank you for your comments as well today. We'll catch you back here tomorrow. Thomas, Tommy, Don was here. Hello to Don. Haven't seen Don in a long time. Leroy, he said Blue Bombers and over. Want to throw that one in. Chris Brady also stopped by. Minnie, talk about our record viewership. Didn't even see some of these were in here. Daryl threw in his WNBA plays. Thanks, Alan, Jeremy, Corday, Ash was here. Reno, great job today. Great contributor. Looks like we have with us here. Thomas. Just mentioned some of the names here today, including Jim Pritchett, Londo. Hope I got you, everybody. Kevin Graham. Also, Ziggy, of course. He sent out his tweet. Arnez was here as well. Jeremy, all right. Thanks a lot. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye. Triple star day at Starbucks. I'm going. See you guys later.